everyone, I'm Geniene Preston, and I've been fortunate enough to be in the media, both in editorial as well as TV and radio. And as luck would have it, I was invited to a fan trip to visit Uganda December 2023. No, it's actually quite recent. It seems like years ago, because it seems like I've always loved Uganda. And when I first went, I was like so nervous, and everybody was saying, "Is Idi Amin still there?" I was like, "I don't know, I'm sure he died." So it was kind of like, everybody's perception of Uganda was a police state. It's like, do you know what you're going to do when you get there? I said, listen, I'm in the hands of UTV. And Uganda Tourism Board, I'm sure will look after us. So off we went we flew Uganda Airlines, and we took pictures over Lake Victoria. It was the most amazing thing, was to see how big that lake is. And when we arrived, I travelled on an Irish passport. So I went through the foreign kind of queue, and the first thing the customs lady says to me is, "I see you have an Irish passport, but you're from South Africa." I said, "Yes." So she says, "Well, you better come back with us, because you don't need a visa." So I knew then I would probably love Uganda, because those people were so kind from the minute I arrived. Being a bit older as well in the group, it was quite daunting, because the others were quite young and were able to be quite agile in getting in and out of the vehicle, and eventually they put me in the front of the safari vehicle, which probably was a bit of a mistake, because I sat next to the driver and just talked to him the whole way. I wanted to know about the politics. I wanted to know why boda riders, who's supposed to have one passenger, have 5. We took 1 million photos of these guys just driving with bananas and with all kinds of building material on their motorbikes, showing me that Africa doesn't have challenges. We just overcome them. And it was quite amazing to see how they had created an umbrella that you could have over your motorbike so that your passenger doesn't get wet. So that was kind of our journey all the way up to the mountains, and we found ourselves at the Gorilla Lodge. But the journey up was terrifying, because the driver was driving with one hand, and we were on this really bad road, and all I could see was the drop next to me. Eventually I just said to him, "Could we please not just put both hands on the steering wheel? It could make me feel a whole lot better." And he's like, "But why?" I said, "Because I asked you to." And he's like, "Okay." So 2 hands went on the steering wheel, and the guys in the back were so thrilled, because they didn't dare ask. They thought they'll leave it up to me. We went to see the gorillas the next day, but it was a huge walk. I mean, I'm not fit at all, and I do tell you that if you want to see the gorillas from Burundi, you do need to be fit. And I'm completely unfit. So we reached the top of this mountain, and I said to the guide, "Where is the gorillas?" Because I'm looking down this really steep incline, and you can only see these trees. They're like this big at the bottom. And he says, "They're down there." I said, "Do you know how far?" He goes, "No idea." I said, "Okay." So we went down in a footpath that has 1 foot. So there's only 1 little foot that you can put in front of each other, and off we went down this mountain. I got halfway down and said to the guy, "Please tell me, how far are these gorillas?" He said, "They are somewhere down there, but let me go find out." And off he went. Ran down, ran back up, and said, "Well, they keep moving." I said, "Well, let me tell you something, China B. If I keep going, not even a helicopter's going to bring me back up. So I'll tell you what, the group will go and take pictures and send me a photo, but I'm going back up, because I'm not going to get back up if I go any further down." So I turned around and went back up for my own health reasons, for no other reason than that. And they continued to go. And eventually the path disappeared, and they were in thorny trees, because these animals are in their natural habitat. You have to wear a mask, because you can't be in their company for too long either. You're only allowed 30 minutes, because they don't want to humanize them. So part of our group was a guy called Q. And Q was from Rwanda. And he had the GoPro. So they tell you at the gorilla center that if the gorilla comes towards you, stand still, do not move. Just stand still, and he'll turn around and he'll go away. So there's Q with the GoPro, and he's looking forward, and he says, "Don't worry guys, I'm filming, it's cool, it's okay." And the gorilla comes towards him, eventually turns around and runs away. And he turns down, and everybody, even the guys up the mountain, they have disappeared. I I thought that was so funny because they tell you to stand still, but not even the guards stay, only the poor guy with the camera. So we have him on GoPros telling the whole story in whisper fashion. And it was a really awesome experience, even just not going as far as the gorillas, but certainly going down the mountain. We then made our way across to Geniene and went to go and see the chimps. And what an amazing experience, because there we were able to be quite close, because there it was fairly flat, it was a forest, and it was fairly flat. And we were able to walk almost all the way, but geez, did it rain. It just rained and rained. And then we had to walk back, and I remember there was quite a steep incline, and I was looking at that steep incline thinking, okay, I've got to make this, but I'll do it, and up I went. Eventually the guy who was with us ran back up and he said, don't worry, I'll bring the vehicle to you. So I said, great stuff. So I get to the top of this incline, there's the vehicle, get in the vehicle thinking, I've never been so happy to see a safari vehicle in my whole life. And he says, I've got to go down and do a U-turn. So he drives down, but he can't go back up with all of us in the vehicle. So I had to get out and drive that same mountain again. So those are experiences that you can really only experience in Uganda. It was just, the people were so amazing. Whenever you go, the people smile. The Indira Cultural Centre, normally here in South Africa we have Zulu dancers. The Zulu dancers are great, but you know they always do the same thing. Whereas in Uganda they have the Indira Cultural Centre where they have Burundi drummers, they have, and they drum in tune. Any of you ever seen what they call it, where all the drummers get together? It's quite amazing to see how they do it all in tune. At the Indira Cultural Centre, you learn about all the East African countries, and Stephen, who's the owner and also the compere, quite an amazing guy, amusing, kids love it, it's an open air dinner theatre, so it's great to do it when you're in Kampala. There's also the walking tour of Kampala. We did a walking tour, and I must tell you, I looked at that traffic and I thought, oh my God, there is no way I will sit in that traffic every day. But then we were taken to Ginger, which is just outside, where we were able to visit the Griffin Forest and do some zip lining. They even have a zip lining for kids. I mean, here we don't have that. You either get on that zip line or we don't. There they have a zip line for people that are scared of heights. So one of the girls who was with us, she actually took that option because she was really scared of heights. But she didn't have to go without the experience. The experience we had in Ginger was amazing. We went to Gamala, we were both at a drift and at Wild Waters. And wow, to sit in your room and watch the Nile go by is just the best experience I can tell you. And it's got a bath, like right on the veranda. So you can sit in your bath with the Nile rushing past. But we went with a drift on a White River rafting experience. And I must tell you, when we got to that point where you could see the hotel, those are Rapid 6 that goes past the hotel, all we could say to our guide was, we're not going down there, Pat. He says, no, we're not going down there. We're going to turn left. I've never seen a bunch of guys paddle so fast to turn left than what I did in that boat that day. So we escaped the hectic rapids, but just so, it's all so untouched. When you look up the mountains and you look everywhere in Uganda, it's either farmland or you're looking into forests. It's a very safe country. I never once felt unsafe, not ever. And I've really been to countries where I've been a little bit nervous, like London. You know, when you're walking there at night, it can be a little bit daunting. In Uganda, we never ever felt that. And I think because the people understood that you were a tourist, maybe, but they were always grateful to see you. I learned about things like Nile perch, and that's a big fish. So when they offer you Nile perch in Uganda, say no, unless you're sharing it with 7 of them, because it's like huge. But very tasty, great food, very similar to ours. And you know, one of the things that you'll find when you go is they love their animals. Uganda loves their animals, and they really treasure them. So when they talk about the gorillas, or they talk about the chimps, I interviewed a lady called Preston at the chimp primate park. She was so passionate about these gorillas, the chimpanzees. And I think one of the things that I enjoyed as well was they have this like boat thing. It's a boat it's like a canoe. And if you're disabled, they will put you in one of those and 6 guys carry you down and carry you back up so that you can see the gorillas, so that you can see the chimps. So they don't discount disabled people, which I've never seen before. I just thought if I carried on going down that gorilla mountain, I knew they would have to bring me up in one of those. And with my weight, they would be 8, never mind 6. So that's why I chose not to. But I hope the next time I go, because for me there's always a next time. You cannot go to Uganda for one day. You have to go to Uganda for more than one visit. So I hope to see you all there on our next visit, which will hopefully be soon. And I hope that you'll encourage South Africans who are coming home for a holiday to stop over in Uganda and visit for a week. Because you know what, when you're here, life is hectic. And before they go back, they need to stop again, and just because they can. I'm Geniene Preston. Thank you for having me.